North Korea's launch of 2 short-range ballistic missiles last week has provoked plenty of reaction. And however you read it, this is a test for US President Joe Biden just 2 months into his presidency. But this is the North back up to its old tricks again, after a period of diplomacy involving Biden's predecessor Donald Trump and South Korean President Moon Jae-in. Of course, before Trump engaged in the first ever US-North Korea summit, things were rather explosive, both in terms of threats of fire and fury and some serious North Korean weapon tests, the first of which was less than a month into Trump's time in office. It's been a similar story for decades, with North Korea creating potentially tense moments for new leaders abroad, all the while advancing its arsenal of nuclear weapons despite global isolation through UN sanctions. That advancement is a key point because it pressures enemies and keeps them away from the North's bigger goal, a nationalistic ideal of self-reliance driven at home by a strict order that's been widely condemned. And it's no surprise that Pyongyang gets upset when its human rights record gets brought up. Coming back to those missiles, it was inevitable as long as the Biden administration was maintaining the old US playbook of maintaining pressure while trying to induce the North's denuclearization. After President Biden brushed off cruise missile launches earlier this month, Pyongyang effectively upped the ante by launching what it called a new type, tactical guided missile. Experts have noted it appears to be an upgraded version of the North's KN-23, modelled after Russia's Iskander mobile ballistic missile. This kind of weapon could be very difficult to defend against and devastating for near targets in South Korea and Japan, where tens of thousands of American soldiers are stationed. South Korea has joined the US in expressing its concern, but this seems likely to be the start of a new period of tensions for Seoul and Washington to deal with. Over the weekend, North Korea condemned President Biden's mere criticism of the missile launches as a provocation, warning of grim times ahead in case of more thoughtless remarks. Senior North Korean Workers' Party official Ri Pyong-chol said it was gangster logic for the US to do as it pleases but to then criticize the North. Interestingly, Chairman Kim Jong-un himself was visiting a construction site for riverside apartments in Pyongyang instead of overseeing the missile test, apparently signaling his intent to focus on people's lives amid economic struggles. But this still plays into the same narrative of self-reliance. For that reason, we can expect more intense provocations with the aim of forcing a sanctions compromise.